Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we have a new archetype coming out into the game called the Amazements. We've got a lot of cards to go ahead and check out. At first, I got excited about new Ghost Trick support. Well, there is artwork from some of our favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetypes in some of these. Maybe they're going to be used for them. I don't know. This is the first time I'm checking out the new Amazement archetype. But let's go ahead and check out what the heck these guys do. So it's going to be basically like a amusement park is kind of like the theme of this archetype over here. But let's go ahead and check out the first card over here. Some of the names, the way that they are like, I guess, oriented, some of the text is kind of like upside down. So I'm not going to be sure what they're going to be actually calling the TCG or whatever when they finally do come out. But this is the Amazement Administrator. I'm going to leave out whatever this part is because, again, it might be changed later down the line anyways. But the first card we're going to take a look at is a level 7 Dark Psychic Effect monster with 2600 attack and 2200 defense points, and it says you can only use each of this card's name first and second effects once per turn. The first part of it is if a trap card is activated as a quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. The second part of it says if your opponent normal or special summon a monster or monsters, you get to target one of those monsters, equip it with one attraction trap from your deck. The third part of it says once per turn you can banish any number of attraction traps from your graveyard, then target that many cards your opponent controls and destroy them. Pretty cool effect over there. So I think this is, is it Arlecchino? I think that's what it's pronounced, but like I said, some of the like letters are upside down. I'm certain that it's just going to be like Arlecchino, but I don't know. It could be, I don't know. We'll worry about that later. Anyways, next up we have the Amazement Ambassador Buffo over here, which is a level 3 Earth Beast effect monster, and it's got 1600 attack and 900 defense points, and it says you can only use this card's name's second effect once per turn. The first part of it says when this card is normal summon, you get to target an attraction trap in your graveyard and one face-up monster opponent controls and equip that target on the field with the target in the graveyard. The second part, as a quick effect, you do target one of your attraction traps equipped to a monster, equip it to an amazement monster you control or face-up monster your opponent controls. Okay, pretty cool stuff indeed, but we'll have to wait and see what the heck they do when they're equipped anyways to go ahead and fully see how good they're going to be. Next up we have the Amazement Attendant, the Kamika. Level 4 Light Machine Effect monster with 1400 attack, 1800 defense points, and it says you can only use this card's name's second effect once per turn. The first part of it is when this card is normal summon, you get to set an attraction trap directly from your deck into your spell and trap zone. The second part, as a quick effect, you can target one of your attraction traps equipped to a monster and equip it to an amazement monster you control or face-up monster your opponent controls. Then next up we have the quick play called the Amaze Time Ticket, which is a quick play spell card that says you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. First part of it says pay 800 life points, apply this effect based on whose turn it is. If it's yours, you get to add an amazement card from your deck to your hand. If it's your opponent's, you get to set an attraction trap directly from your deck to your spell and trap zone. It can be activated this turn. Oh my gosh, I was gonna say this is already too slow. Like, good luck trying to go ahead and wait like another turn for it. But most of them get to be equipped, and on top of that, the most important part is you can activate it this turn. It doesn't like limit you to like only this one can be activated like the trap trick card, so I like it. It's definitely looking pretty good, but we have to see what the traps do. Next up we have the Amazement Special Show over here, which is another quick play spell card that says when an opponent activates a card or effect that targets an amazement monster or monsters you control, target one of those amazement monsters you control, return to the hand, and then special summon an amazement monster from your hand. I wish it was from the deck. Obviously, that would be maybe too OP, but I guess, like, you know, that's just what it does. And then we'll have to wait and check out the rest of the cards to see how good it's going to be. But we have the field spell. The name is the Amazement Pressure Spark. I want to zoom up on this one because it looks really cool. But anyways, it's a field spell card that says you can only use each of this card's name first and second effects once per turn. The first part of it says you can activate one attraction trap card during your main phase of the turn into set. During the end phase, you can send one of your attraction traps equipped to a monster to the graveyard and then target one of your attraction traps with a different name that is banished or in your graveyard and set it to your spell and trap zone. Okay, looking pretty good, but okay. The most important part of this whole archetype is the traps. So this one over here is called the Amazement Family Face over here, and it's a normal trap card that says you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. The first part of it says target one monster your opponent controls equipped with your attraction traps, equip this card to that target. Second part of it says take control of the equipped monster. Okay. The third part of it says while you control the equipped monster, it gains 500 attack it cannot activate its effects. It also is treated as an amazement monster. Okay, the whole you can't activate the effects automatically makes it super disappointing. If it's only while you control the monster too. If it only was able to go ahead and negate their thing, I guess technically you can take control over it, so it might not be that big of a deal, but it could definitely be a deal breaker for some people. Next up, we have the Maze Attraction Cyclone Coaster over here. So it's an amusement park. They got roller coasters, pretty cool. Anyways, normal trap card says you can only use this card's name second effect once per turn. The first part of it says target one amazement monster you control or one face-up monster your opponent controls and equip this card to that target. The second part says you can activate this effect based on the equipped monster's controller. If it's you get to target one spell and trap, or spell or trap your opponent controls and send it and this card to the graveyard. The other part of it says your opponent add one amazement monster from your deck to your hand. If you do, send this card to the graveyard. Next up, we have the Amaze Attraction Wonder Wheel, which is a normal trap card that says you can only use this card's name's second effect once per turn. The first part of it says target one amazement monster you control or one face-up monster your opponent controls and equip this card to that target. Second part of it says you can activate this effect based on the equipped monster's controller. If it's you during the main phase, you can return one card from your hand to the bottom of the deck and then draw one card. Your opponent swap the equipped monster's attack and defense until the end of this turn. Okay, I just like that you have all these different abilities based off of, you know, who's controlling that. I think it's a pretty interesting archetype so far. But OP, not yet. But next up we have the Amaze Attraction Majestic Manage. Anyways, normal trap card that says target one amazement monster you control or one face-up monster your opponent controls and equip this card to that target. The second part of it says apply this effect based on the equipped monster's controller. If it's you, the equipped monster gains 500 attack. Also, if you destroy a battle by card effect, you get to send this card to the graveyard instead. Second part of it says your opponent, the equipped monster, loses 500 attack for each of your attraction spells or attraction traps equipped to a monster. Okay, I like this effect being able to make it so it can't be destroyed by battle by card effect. Pretty nice. But next up we have the Amaze Attraction Rapid Racing. So this is supposed to be, I think, it's supposed to be kind of like bumper cars because you can see like the front of it. At first I thought this was FA cards. I was like, okay, cool, they're getting more support as well. Anyways, you can only use this card's name's second effect once per turn. First part of it says target Amaze monster you control or one face-up monster your opponent controls and equip it to that target. Second part says you can activate this effect based on the equipped monster's controller. If it's you, target one card in either graveyard, change the equipped monster's battle position. If you do, shuffle that target into the deck. The other part of it says your opponent increase the equipped monster's level by 1 if you do change its battle position. Oh, so you're gonna make it so they can't like go for exceeds or maybe even synchros. I really wish it had something to do with maybe flipping it face down instead, because obviously with link summons, which is where the game is really going in terms of the direction for a lot of combos, this won't really matter that much. It should have said like, or you can choose it to flip. I just think flipping face down is overall better, but then obviously the equip would be kind of messed up with that. But I think that would have been kind of nice to have. Anyways, next up we have the Attraction Horror House. This is a normal trap card. This is a card I originally thought it was Ghost Trick support because it has some of the artwork on it. And it says that you can only use this card's name second effect once per turn. The first part of it says target amazement monster you control or a face-up monster opponent controls and equip this card to that target. Second part of it says you can activate this effect based on the equipped monster's controller. If it's you, target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effect until the end of this turn. Okay. Your opponent, change the equipped monster to face down defense position. Oh, because it's Ghost Tricks that flips face down. That's exactly what they needed. I really wish that like the whole archetype showed off some of the boss monsters. I know this is kind of like the introduction to the deck and they're all about obviously the trap and having it equipped depending on if it's you or your opponent. I like that idea. It's a cool and interesting interaction, but overall I don't see this deck being like S tier, at least as of right now. I'm curious to know what you guys think about the archetype. Do you guys think it's going to be an actual good archetype? Is it going to be maybe a troll archetype because it's just all about like, you know, taking control or selecting the different effects? The more effects you have in Yu-Gi-Oh, obviously the better. But if there's no like set up the board dealing with lots of negations or like any immunities, the immunity technically kind of existed where if it be destroyed you get to like prevent it. But I think that they need a lot more, at least as of right now. I would not consider them like an S tier deck. It's just kind of one of those fun, innovative, cool idea decks until they get some insane support. We'll have to wait and see where they go. But I'm curious to know what you guys' thoughts are on the new Amazement archetype down below in the comment section below. But anyways guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for the new Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Thanks for tuning in, guys. guys, and if you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. And if you are new here and you want to see gameplay of these, when I think the archetype gets a little bit more developed, we'll kind of check them out a little bit more. But if you guys want to send me in gameplay, feel free to go ahead and do so over at AzneyesReplays@gmail.com, because I just don't see any immediate ideas for some of the cards in other archetypes as well. Sometimes you can mix them in other archetypes and they might be kind of good, but I don't know. We'll wait and see. But thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. Have a good one, and I'm signing out. Peace.